Hello again, everyone. Stavros here with the end of Season 2 Ramble, where I look at the deck and draw certain conclusions and hope to create a better deck for Season 3. So it's been 10 leagues since I kind of made the big overhaul to the deck. So it's kind of a good time to look at what our stats are like and maybe look at how we can improve the deck. And before I start, of course, there's the big caveat and the the warning. None of this is statistically significant in any way. Drawing conclusion from such a small set of data doesn't make sense, but it's kind of fun to do anyways, and it gives us an inkling on how, maybe gives us an inkling on how the deck is doing, not necessarily how the deck will do, because it's not very statistically significant, as I said. So yeah, let's jump straight into the tracker. Yeah, this is the same tracker that I've always been using. I'll just run through it very quickly. This is where I track all my matches on this side. I just have a season, have the league number. This is looked up from a lookup table further down the sheet. I type in my matchup and then type in 1 for a win, 0 for a loss, and yeah, 1 for a win here. So for example, here I beat UR Delver 2-1. It calculates if it's a win, and it just writes a score over here, and that's basically it. And this is where I gather kind of other stats about it. That was season 1. Now we're down here. We're at season 2, actually. And things have definitely improved quite a bit. Now, I've just highlighted one cell here as kind of the headline number, which is the match win percentage in season 1 was 38%. So it was right around where I thought it would be, between 35 and 45. Season 2, it has improved by 16 percentage points. So it's gone up to 54%. So over the last 10 leagues, this has been a winning deck. Just just about, but it has been a winning deck. And then you can see the breakdown of game 1, game 2 wins, or game 3. It seems like game 2 is substantially higher than the rest. I'm not sure why. Maybe we have good sideboard cards and then don't pull through on game 3. I'm not sure exactly, or it could just be variance. But yeah, it is starting to show that over 50 matches, it's 54% win percentage. The other thing worth probably looking at is kind of these two tables comparing season 1 to 2, about how I'm doing against kind of all the different archetypes. Now I've done my own split between mid-range prison aggro control combo. None of them have enough data points, except maybe aggro and combo. Still not enough, but those are the two best ones. And if we kind of compare how we're doing between the two, we can see that in season 1, basically aggro, which was a lot of Rug Delver, Blue Red Delver, Ninjas, Death Shadow, we were doing really well against it. 71% win percentage. Probably, I think that's overinflated. Um, but it was still pretty good. And then combo was by far our worst, the one we faced the most and our worst, 28%. That is really bad. Um, in season 2, aggro has, I guess it's not as good, but again the numbers are very few, so maybe it's about the same. Maybe the real win percentage is around 50%. But combo, I think, definitely has improved, and I can feel it at least in the matchups that I'm playing. I think Leyline of the Void stops Dredge, stops Black Red Reanimator, helps against lands and a few other things, although lands isn't a combo deck. And then also now we've brought some new tools with Duress and Lost Legacy, which will probably help increase that percentage again. So I think it's going pretty well, and I think it's going in the right direction. Since I'm facing, so basically in the last 10 leagues, so season 2, 70% of the matchups have been either aggro or combo. So basically all my game plans, everything should be focused against those, because that is the majority of what I'm playing. if I can have decent matchups against those, I think I'll generally do pretty well. Yeah, these are the total results here. How many leagues we've had of each kind of result. We've had 1 4s, 4 1s, 3 2s, 2 3s. No 0 5s, no 5 0s. I think we're starting to kind of get to an equilibrium, understanding that the deck probably is about 2 to 3 wins is probably the norm with it. But hopefully we can get a few more 4 1s and maybe a 5 0 in season three. So what changed, I guess, between season one and season two to actually make, uh, yeah, 16 percentage points difference, which I think there has been an improvement. Maybe it's not really that much, but what has actually changed? And so this is what it looked, version 2.0 was what it looked like in season one when I started playing on MTGO. So this is a kind of different deck. It kind of looks the same, I have to say, but the main differences are 3 Living Wishes instead of 2, a very uncoordinated sideboard with a lot of one-ofs, even though they might not be wish list Living Wish targets, like Tormod's Crypt, Bitter Blossom, Golgari Charm, Return to Nature. These are all one-ofs in a deck that doesn't have that much card selection, and Toxic Deluge also. That just doesn't work. Yeah, I kind of knew that, but you try that and it didn't work that well. And then didn't rely on the Koba that much. 2 Thespian Stage, 2 Dark Depths in the main, and the 1 copy in the side to fetch with Living Wish. Um, the other difference is we had a few other one-ofs like Engineered Explosives, and we had quite a few land one-ofs here like Nurturing Peatland, Castle Lochthwain, Blast Zone, Cabal Pit. Like we've retained some of those, but now we have Sylvan Scrying to actually fetch them, so it's a bit better. The Planeswalkers are kind of the same. So yeah, it's about the same there. Um, so yeah, that was what it looked like um, in season one, and then for the latest one, which is what we've been using kind of for the last 5 leagues, and it's very similar to version 3.0. Is this one version 4.0, which I think is a lot more streamlined. Like I'm really happy with how the sideboard looks. First of all, if I want to focus on that, we have a lot of four ofs and a lot of or a lot of like 2 Golgari, 2 Toxic Deluge, that's 4 Sweepers, 4 Duress, that's 4 Discard, 4 Leyland, that's 4 Graveyard Hate, and then the kind of Lost Legacy, which is I know it's a one of, that's probably the weakest part of the sideboard I think right now, but it does help against I think combo, and the Sorcerer's Spyglasses, which are kind of a catch-all but help against big planeswalkers. So it seems a lot more streamlined. And also the main is more streamlined because I've gotten rid of some extra utility lands, and I've now gone for 3 Thespian Stage and 3 Dark Depths. And that really helps us rely on the combo more. There are 3 Sylvan Libraries and 2 Sylvan Scrying as the glue of the deck. I've gotten rid of the 1 Engineered Explosives, and my one-ofs are now more kind of higher drops, which I think is better than having them as lower drops because they're much higher impact. I think that makes a lot more sense in my mind. You can draw into them slowly. You can get like 1 or 2 looks of a Sylvan Library and find them, and they're not things that I specifically need. I'm never really searching and saying, oh, I need a Karn here to get out of the situation. What I usually say is, oh, I need a Smallpox to destroy this big creature, or a Hymn to Torque would be great here to disrupt this combo, or I need Abrupt Decay to get rid of this pesky threat. I'm not really saying I need Karn to get rid of something. I'm saying Karn would be good to draw, but it's not something that it's good as a finisher, or if there's a if we're both top decking and I drop Karn and start drawing 2 cards a turn, then I'm very happy. So yeah, I believe it's really helped to make it much more streamlined. For season three, I'm not going to be making absolutely any changes. I'm going to play at least the 5 first leagues with this, and then I'll probably start considering some things. The things that are probably worth consideration is Can we put another Liliana Last Hope in the main? I think Liliana's Last Hope is coming back. There are more creature decks now, and because DNT and Elves are good and Maverick is decently positioned, Liliana's Last Hope is really good to kill the small creatures, and then we take care of the bigger creatures with Abrupt Decay and Smallpox and the other Liliana. So maybe another Liliana can be put in there, and it makes it a bit more consistent also to actually draw it against some of these decks. And then the other one is the split of two Chalice, two Trinisphere. Maybe I should be deciding on one. I do really like Trinisphere. It's one of my pet cards. I think it's great to lock people out. Sometimes it's an awkward top deck. And the reason that it's not like 3 Trinisphere or 4 Trinisphere is that you can play Chalice on turn 0 against some of the decks. Now, the problem with playing Chalice on turn 0 is that Veil, they cast Veil and then they play all their 0 mana things and they just beat us up. So maybe that's not that good anymore. So that needs some consideration. Other than that, I feel like the mana base is solid. 27 lands is definitely enough for Mox Diamond. It's okay with Loam, and it works with Crucible. I feel like the utility lands I have, Bajuka Bog is absolutely great game one. And with two Sylvan Scrying, we have 3 shots at finding it. So it can be found against some of these, like Dredge or I guess the slower matchup like lands, perhaps to get rid of Loam or something like that. So I feel like I think the land base is definitely working and it works to actually produce the mana that we need. Okay, I mean that's about it for the deck. I think I'll continue playing. Play season 3. I've kind of have this little placeholder here for the results of that. Play season 3 and see how the results go, and maybe after 5 leagues, maybe do a reassessment and see where the metagame is, because I know with the recent bannings, people are trying new things. Maybe there'll be a new deck that's a top dog. Maybe they'll print something in one of these latest sets that breaks everything. And well, who knows really? Yeah, so that's about it. And thanks for watching, and catch you in the next league.